So, Elemental Heroes and Heroes in general got a big boost with the most recent box and special pack that came out, with the addition of Super Polymerization and Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier, as well as some new skills like Hero Alliance and some other new ones for Evil Heroes. So today we're going to be looking at the new Hero Alliance skill and the deck that goes along with it. And this one's been having a lot of success lately, actually, in tournaments, on ladder, in clan wars have been doing alright. So this is a deck that's been making appearances all over the place, and it has a lot of power to it. You can throw out some pretty big attack point elemental hero monsters very fast with this thing. So first and foremost, we got to talk about the skill Hero Alliance. So the big thing with Hero Alliance, first off, is that you can normal summon Elemental Hero Stratos without needing the Tribute Summon throughout the entire game. You can just normal summon this, super easy, 2500 attack point monster, really nice. But once per duel, when you normal summon this, you can also add discard a card from your hand to add from your deck to hand either a Super Polymerization, or from outside of your deck, add a Polymerization, Miracle Contact, or Miracle Fusion to your hand. So, discard a card, grab Super Poly from your deck, or grab a Polymerization or Miracle Fusion from outside of your deck. Plus, you put Elemental Hero Divine Neos into your extra deck. Also, you're going to put two random Neospatian monsters into your graveyard, which is great because it provides attributes for your fusion summons for like things like the Shining and Great Tornado, targets for Miracle Fusion. Also, it just gives you multiple monsters so you can summon that big Elemental Hero Neos monster, that fusion monster that you add to your extra deck with the skill as well. So, really nice skill, really powerful, and it basically allows you to get whatever kind of fusion card you need early on to start your plays at, right? Because you're going to be able to search out Miracle Fusion out of your deck with Elemental Hero Sunrise, so a lot of times you just need that first fusion play to go into it, and that might be a Polymerization or a Super Poly. Super Poly can also be great for breaking your opponent's boards too, or just setting up for defense turn 1 as well. So we have a lot of great monsters in deck to help go through everything. 3 Elemental Hero Stratos in here. This is going to let you search out your Neos. You can cut this to 2. I have it at 3 right now just because I like the consistency of having more ways to be able to get to that Neos very quickly. And I do feel like I have at least a few things in here to protect myself if I have to open up with like Stratos and Book of Moon as back row, turn 1. I have 3 Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier in here. This card is amazing. You're going to use both of its effects at times, but especially its fusion effect. Whenever you fusion summon using this card, you get to draw 2 cards and then discard 1 card. Extremely important for drawing into the, not just gaining card advantage, right? Because you're getting a +1 off of it, making up the card advantage that you usually lose off of fusion summons. But also, it's going to let you dig for those important, backer cards that you need to have set either turn 1 or other, just in general, those other power cards that you kind of need sometimes to get through matches. Blaze Man is nice because you get to search your deck for Polymerization. It's just a nice, +1. It's really good to be able to have, Blaze Man and Stratos in your graveyard and be able to bring them back with Liquid Soldier. Trigger their effects again to search out your deck or blow up cards in the case of Stratos. And then go for that XYZ play, which is why we have the 1 Malevolent Sin in here. So Liquid Soldier really cool. And Blaze Man just fits along with it very nicely here. We have, of course, 3 Neos because of our skill. We have the 1 Super Poly in here. This card is amazing. I was really tempted to run that level 4 fusion monster that just requires 2 different attributes to summon it, because then you could just fusion poly or super poly off any 2 monster opponents have that have different attributes, but no room for it here in the extra deck here. But it's a great a great card though. Definitely something I would consider in other decks though, maybe utilizing, because Super Poly is just so good. Triple Book of Moon in here as well, really just again standard back row protection card. I have 2 Miracle Fusion, that way in case you draw 1 you can still search out the other one with the Sunrise. Some people are running 2 Sunrise, I only have 1 in here, but again I generally find that it's quite often you're going to end up drawing into 1 anyways, because you're usually going to get Liquid Soldier's effect off at least once, if not twice in a duel. We also have 2 Neos Fusion. I know some people running this at 3. I know some people have completely cut the Neos Fusion from the deck entirely. I still have it at 2 though. I like the extra little bit of power it gives you. Plus it lets you fill up your graveyard a little bit for Miracle Fusion. But also just Neos Fusion itself can protect your monsters a little bit as you go for that push, right? Like it can protect your Brave Neos, stop them from being destroyed by your opponent's card effects, in addition to giving you that extra fusion summon, that extra big monster on the board. The 1 of Polymerization, that of course we get to search out with the Blaze Man, and then 1 Treacherous Trap Hole in here. And then going into our extra deck, I have 1 Shining, which is great because obviously you just need a light monster with it, 1 Great Tornado, which can use any wind monster, and then 1 E-Hero Gaia, which can use any earth, and then Escuridao, which can use any dark monster. So basically if your opponent has any of these attributes on the board, dark, light, wind, earth, anything except for fire or light, or excuse me, fire or what's the other water, we can super poly and basically fuse off with their monster. So it gives us a great way to be able to fusion someone with our opponent's cards. It doesn't target, obviously, your opponent can't respond to it, so super poly is just a phenomenal way to basically get rid of anything that your opponent has that isn't a water or fire attribute, which we do have the fire attribute in the game. So if you want to run Nova Master, a lot of people are running the Nova Master. I decided to go ahead and run the rank 4 monster in here instead. I have a Malevolent Sin, although you could go with Heroic Champion Excalibur as well, or any other rank 4 for that matter. I just prefer Malevolent Sin, but Nova Master is another option you could go with in here as well. There's other fusion monsters you can go with, as I mentioned, the second Sunrise. If you really want to, you can squeeze in the second Brave Neos and then run 3 Neos fusion. So you have a lot of options with this deck. There's, you know, the exact optimal way to play this deck, I don't think it's really been figured out yet. With all the, and again, Hero Alliance isn't the only new hero skill, so people are testing out with all the hero cards. They're testing out different ways to play the deck. Some people are playing 30-card version with a bunch of trap cards in it, with like Canadias and Phoenix Chain and stuff like that. So there's a lot of ways to go about playing this deck. Definitely, you know, play and test out and see what works out for you, what you enjoy playing with. But you know, you have a lot of flexibility here with what you want to go with. Going first, your big thing is you want to be able to just put out a monster with a back row card, at least one, set a Book of Moon or Super Poly and a Tretch. Ideally, if you can get 2 of these set, along with, you know, some monster on the board, whether it's Brave Neos or Shining or just a Stratos, whatever, that's just a solid play. Turn 2, that's when you're usually just going to be pushing and going for game. Yeah, your opponent may have some back row you have to worry about, and that's usually the biggest problem, but you're going to be usually slamming down 2 or 3 big old fusion monsters on a turn, and then being able to follow up with another, you know, fusion monster or 2 or 3 on the next turn as well. So you guys will see in the replay just how fast this thing just slams down big old fusion monsters and 2500 attack point Neos, and it can be very difficult for your opponents to stop it. So let's just go ahead and dig straight into those gameplays now. And of course, if you guys do like the content, please be sure to like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel, and I appreciate all the support you guys give me. All right, starting off, we have a game against Abyss Actor. This deck had a couple of odd card choices in it in terms of like the Abyss Actor support he was using. Nonetheless, though, Abyss Actor are still a really good, competent deck. Mellow Madonna is such a great card, being able to search out whatever you need from your deck. Really, Mellow Madonna is the thing that makes this deck go, right? Being able to search out all of your Abyss Actors, get whatever you need for your Pendulum summons, or your superstar, whatever it is. In this case, he's going first, so he's going to be able to summon, put out a lot of protection here, right? Sassy Rookie, the first time it would be destroyed, it's not destroyed. He's also got a card here, Wild Wagon, which is going to stop his things from being destroyed. So he's got a lot of protection. So first and foremost, I'm just going to Polymerization right off the bat. We're going to get Sunrise to the field. Sunrise is going to let us search for our deck what do you call it, a Miracle Fusion. We're going to search out Miracle Fusion, plus we also are going to draw 2, discard 1 off the Liquid Soldier, so we're already gaining card advantage back off the Liquid Soldier, and we have another powerful fusion card coming out here in Miracle Fusion. And once we do that, we're going to be able to normal summon Stratos and blow up 2 back row cards, because we're going to have 2 Heroes monsters on the field when we do it. So activate the activate the Neos Fusion instead of Miracle Fusion here. Doesn't really matter which one. We're going to get a big old monster on the field either way and crush them. So this offers just a little bit more protection here with the Brave Neos, but able to blow up 2 back row cards with the Stratos. And this is what I'm talking about with this deck, with the firepower that this thing has. Look, we have another Miracle Fusion now. If we wanted to put another Brave Neos extra deck, we could go for another Neos Fusion here next turn. And again, we're going to draw 2, discard 1 off the Liquid Soldier effect next turn when we do Fusion Summon, plus Bacon Saver's Engrave. I did have Bacon Saver in the deck initially. I did cut it, so you will see Bacon Saver in some of these games, some of them. But at this point, our opponent, there's not really much he can do, right? Like, the best thing he can do is summon the Superstar and use Superstar's effect to set that Abyss Scripts card from the deck to let you blow up multiple things on the field. That's about the biggest thing that he can do, though, is try to blow up multiple cards on the field with it. But I have the Book of Moon set, so I'm just going to Book of Moon a Superstar, and that's going to prevent him from being able to set the card from his deck to hand, or from his deck to the board. And then he makes the huge mistake. This is something that you need to be careful of if you're playing against this deck, Hero Alliance. But Sunrise effect to destroy card activates anytime another E-Hero on the field battles. That includes your opponent's elemental hero monsters and all of yours on your field besides Sunrise on either player's turn. So if your opponent like this, Evil Heal, attacks into something other than Sunrise, Sunrise's effect to blow up a card of the field will trigger. So he just blew up his own monster by attacking into something and letting me trigger my Sunrise effect. The only way you can go after this, if he attacked over my Sunrise, it would have been just fine. He could have swung over it, it would have died, no problem. But because he attacked another elemental hero, make sure you target Sunrise first and go for that with the attack first. So I think our opponent was pretty much screwed anyways, though, because I had, everything I needed to swing over. Again, we talked about the fact that I have Neo's Fusion, Miracle Fusion to follow up, but I could have followed up with multiple fusion monsters on the following turn, so we win in that case, even if he didn't misplay. But yeah, do be wary of that, but it just shows you just how many monsters that can spit out so quickly. Alright, I think this was the one loss from today that I have put into this video, if I'm not mistaken. We're going first, which it can sometimes be a problem with this deck. Again, your opponent's back row can be an issue at times. Stratos is your only way to really deal with back row, but going first, you don't have a ton of protection besides usually just setting one back row, and that's all we have here, and our opponent has the answer for it with the Forbidden Land. So our opponent is able to just do their basic Harpy plays at this point, channel or bring out Perfumer, search your deck for, in this case, Feather Rest. He wants to draw the additional cards to try to get more back row set up to protect himself, which is a smart thing to do here. So he brings out the Cyber Slash Harpy, and Cyber Slash is actually a big problem for this deck because, again, we do have some protection with various things. Brave Neos gets protected by Neos Fusion from Destruction. Sunrise forces you to attack that and not your other cards. So you do have some protection there. Shining can go up big attack points, but Cyber Slash Harpy Ladies effect to just bounce back your cards back to hand can just be very difficult to deal with. And now that our opponent has 3 back row set and Cyber Slash on the board, there's just not much we're going to be able to do here, right? Because he can just bounce back our Shining, bounce back our monsters. TTH is going to deal with our board, and again, he can use the Cyber Slash to bounce back our Shining, so we don't get the search out of the we don't get to add any of our banished cards back to hand. And at this point, he already has 4,000 damage on the board, and there's just nothing we can do at this point, right? We don't have MSCs to deal with his back row cards. He's got multiple things they can bounce back, so this is just a an example of a deck that can very easily beat you pretty bad. Even with the Bacon Saver, is just not going to be able to save us from the onslaught that is Harpy Ladies. So I believe this was another. Oh no, this is the Buster Blader matchup. I have a couple of hero matches coming up here. This is a Buster Blader matchup. So our opponent is going first, and he has the Buster Whelp in hand, which is always great for Buster Blader. Anytime you can open up with that level 1, it's big. We don't have any real plays on our turn, so all we can do is just set 3 back row, right? We set our 3 Book of Moon, and that's it. Bacon Saver, Liquid Sword. This is why I cut Bacon Saver from the deck, right? I swear, I was opening up with Bacon Saver in my opening hand half of all games. I cut it from the deck as a result of that, so that's why you'll stop seeing it at some point. But so all I can really do here is just set the Bacon Saver. It'll protect us from a couple of attacks, but we need monsters, right? So we get the Stratos finally, normal summon, and our opponent has Divine Wrath. We needed that search so bad, so we still have a lot of protection with the 3 Book of Moon here, but definitely not in the best of shape. So our opponent's going for the Synchro Summon here. We're going to Book of Moon it because he can use its effect to bring out a Buster Blader from the deck. So let's just Book of Moon it now, stop it from happening. But he has the trap card to bring out a Buster Blader from the deck anyway, so Bacon Saver is going to save our bacon here. We're going to normal summon the Liquid Soldier and bring back the Stratos. We're able to do this now. He goes for the Synchro Call, and Synchro Call revives a tuner from the grave, or revives a monster from your graveyard, and then you get to Synchro Summon immediately afterwards. So, but you can't Synchro Summon with a face down, so if you chain Book of Moon to the Synchro Call, they can't Synchro Summon with the monster that you booked. So we're going to activate this, and boom, he does get the Synchro play off now. So now he just has 3 defense position monsters that are easy to kill, so we just need to destroy these 3 monsters. So we're getting the search off the Stratos, and then I'm just going to super poly both of our monsters, bring out the Sunrise. Sunrise effects is going to activate, bringing out a Miracle Fusion from our deck. We can then Miracle Fusion to summon another E-Hero monster to the field. And once we've done this, our opponent's in big trouble now, because we're going to get to blow up a monster with Sunrise. So attack, Sunrise effect, blow up a monster, swing, boom, we've cleaned out the board. So now he doesn't really have much left. He doesn't have anything left on the field. All he has left is a trap card and grave, and we have a Book of Moon set and monsters on the field. So even if he does activate the trap card effect and bring out a monster to the board, there's nothing he can do here. We get the W. All right, GG. So this was another hero deck, not quite a mirror match because he wasn't using the Hero Alliance skill, but a hero match nonetheless. So he's going to start off with the Fusion Recycling Plan to get himself the Polymerization. Stratos searching for that Liquid Soldier. Liquid Soldier is so good, being able to get you those draw effects. He uses it now with the polymerization to bring out the Sunrise, which is going to, of course, give him a Miracle Fusion to his hand, and he's going to get to draw 2, discard 1 off the Liquid Soldier. So he does pretty good here in terms of the card advantage game. He only has 1 set back row, though. Fusion Recycling Plant gives him another card to his hand, and he's at 6 cards now, plus 2 on his first turn play, plus he's got Miracle Fusion in hand and a Fusion Monster. It's a pretty good turn 1 from him, but unfortunately, though, we have Hero Alliance as our skill, which means that we can normal summon Stratos, Stratos Effect, and search Super Poly out of our deck. Guys, if you run heroes and you get into a mirror match of any kind against another hero deck, be careful of Super Poly, because this is what can happen to you. He's going to lose his board. It's Super Poly with both of his monsters. Basically a free fusion monster on the field, search a deck for Miracle Fusion. He has no way to activate a response of any kind to it, because Super Poly has this ridiculously broken effect that says cards and effects cannot be activated in response to this. So it basically says your opponent can't do anything. So free fusion summon, take his monsters, there's nothing he can do, declare an attack, Sunrise, blow up his back row. It was a mask change, which again couldn't do anything with it because we blew up his monsters, or took away his monster with Super Poly. Easy win there. Do be careful if you're playing with heroes not to get super polyed by your opponent. Alright, so I feel like this game really showcases the power of the hero deck, right? So we have a Hero Alliance mirror match going on here. Our opponent's going first. He's going to summon the Neos to the field and then activate a skill. He's going to search his deck for the Super Poly, also discarding the Skill Prisoner on the graveyard. So Skill Prisoner can negate an effect, and he's got Super Poly already set to the field turn 1. So that's a pretty good turn 1 play there. We're going to summon our Stratos here, search our deck for Neos, and then we're going to set 3 back row. We have Super Poly already set to the board. We didn't have to search out from our deck, got a little lucky with that. And our opponent's going to activate the Super Poly early. Now, I thought that he activated Super Poly a little bit early here, and he should have just attacked, but I think he was just going for game and hoping that I didn't have enough back row up. He's going to do the Sunrise play. Sunrise, search his deck out for the Miracle Fusion, set a monster, use that for the Miracle Fusion play, into the Shining, and then boom, we're going to Super Poly off his board here because, again, we could just use 2 of our opponent's monsters. So Super Poly gets us out the Shining. And again, I just want to, this is, I think, really showcases what this deck can do, right? So now we can normal summon Neos, which is a free 2500 attack point monster on the board without having to tribute. Activate the effect, get a Miracle Fusion out of our deck. Fusion summon with the Miracle Fusion, so we can get out Sunrise. Sunrise is going to search our deck for another Miracle Fusion, plus Liquid Soldier's effects is activating to draw 2 and discard 1. Look at the insane card advantage that we're getting here. We got 3 powerful monsters on the board, Miracle Fusion in hand, plenty of back row set, Tretch set, Book of Moon set, and a Strato set to continue searching. Now, our opponent has Skill Prisoner. We really need to activate there, but Treacherous Trap Hole is going to wipe out a couple monsters on our field here. Going to keep them alive. 2,500 attack points dealt with the Neos now, but our opponent doesn't have a ton to come back with. Summons the Neos, but again, look, we top deck into the Neos Fusion now. So again, we can Miracle Fusion, bring out a big ol' Elemental Hero Divine Neos. We can also then activate the Neos Fusion. We're going to get the draw 2, discard 1 again. We draw into another Miracle Fusion, so we have Miracle Fusion, Neos Fusion. They summon 2 more Fusion monsters and normal summon Stratos. Just look how many big old powerful bosses we could summon to the field at this point. And we're flooding, and we filled the graveyard with another Liquid Soldier, so we'll get the draw 2, discard effect off next turn. Another Neos in our hand that we can normal summon without tributing. There's just so many big powerful, literally just every turn you're able to slam down 2 to 3 big 2,500 attack point monsters or more. It's absolutely insane. This deck is so much fun to play. If you're a fan of E-Heroes, I would definitely recommend trying out this deck, because man, it is absolutely nuts when you just have that much power and that many big fusion monsters you can slam down to the board, just turn after turn, and apply that kind of pressure. It's absolutely insane. So yeah, if you guys really enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comment section what other decks you'd like to see me do in the future. If you guys do like the video, please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful rest of the day.